Hi, my name is Liz Breckbill, and I went on SST to Indonesia in 2019.
Hi, my name is Nasim Rasoulipour. I also went on SST Indonesia 2019.
One of the most common questions about SST is how much language do you need to know before you go, and how much do you need to know in order to function within the country? What would you say your experience was like?
Well, I would say I felt like I didn't know very much. Even though we did have a semester of Indonesian, I pretty much felt like I could only say hi and bye and like yes and no and then nothing else. Definitely was not comfortable and confident. But I would say towards the end of my SST experience, I was pretty comfortable and confident getting around by myself alone and making others understand me, even if it was with hand gestures and all. But I wouldn't say I was fluent, but I would say I was pretty comfortable going around. Mm-hmm.
So we are going to give you 3 recommendations of what you should remember about language while on SST. Mm-hmm. So number 1, remember that you have a community of people around you who really want you to succeed. We had Indonesian language lessons both in the US and then in Indonesia as well. And all of our teachers for that were very excited for us to be learning the language. They were passionate about it. They were glad that we were there to learn. They wanted to teach us everything they knew. They wanted us to ask questions and be engaged. And overall, they wanted us to just have a better experience because of our improved language knowledge. And I found that that was also true for my host families and the people that I met at school and at stores, classes as well. They wanted us to ask questions, they were excited to answer our questions, and they were excited for us to be learning their language. They were passionate about it, they wanted us to know more, and they were ready to engage in conversations with us in that language, even if it was broken at times. They just really wanted us to get the full experience of learning that language.
That's right. Number 2, it's hard, but just go for it. Obviously, you don't know their language fully, and you're in a different country that functions on that language, and if you don't know it fully, it would affect a lot of things. But just go for it. Even if you are speaking it wrong and your sentences are not right and you're using the wrong words, just go for it. Because the more you use these wrong sentences and wrong words, the more you can get connected to others and get corrected as well. And this is just a good practice to build your own language and practice it, alongside of just keep listening to other people talking and making sure your ears become comfortable with their language that they're talking. And so the whole point of this is to step out of your comfort zone and maybe sometimes even get out of your English speaking group and put yourself in situations that would force you to speak their language. To maybe the students, the local students that are in your university, or when you go to the store, try to speak their language, or when you're in a taxi or something like that. So, or your host family. So, put yourself out there because you got this.
And our 3rd recommendation to remember about language while on SST is that you need to enjoy your experience. There are a lot of times where you're going to feel overwhelmed and going out of your comfort zone is too much and it feels wrong to you. But that's the way that you're really going to be able to have the fullest experience possible. That's the way you're going to be able to build relationships. Language and culture are so intertwined. Understanding the language better will also help you understand the culture better as well. And that's really the way in which you can have the most rewarding experience while on SST, just because you're able to have that connection to a culture that you wouldn't be able to have even if you were just learning the language. Like having those conversations and those interactions with people from your host country is what's so valuable and what makes SST just a very learning and developing time for a lot of people.
Absolutely. So overall, I would say Liz and I had a very challenging SST experience, but yet it was very rewarding and very growing for both of us. And speaking from from both of us. We definitely recommend an SST experience, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. And we just think that you will have a great experience once you put yourself out there and are willing to observe your surroundings.
We would both strongly recommend the Indonesia SST. It's beautiful, they're wonderful people, we had a wonderful time, and we would really recommend it to anyone who is considering SST and would like to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.